Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. Another paid request, this time from my good friend Efree. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, re-reviews, video game playthroughs or let's plays, let's tries, topics, whatever, PayPal is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box if you want to request one. And this is for finishing the game, a 2007, okay, I want to make sure, 2007 mockumentary. In other words, in this case, it's a fake documentary, definitely done for comedic purposes, that Game of Death needs to be finished. Bruce Lee has died. We need another Bruce Lee. And it's directed by Justin Lin, the same guy who directed Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and this is before he came back to Fast and Furious, which then he did 4, 5, and 6, and then 9, and Star Trek Beyond, and pretty much before his career really catapulted. Now, I do like the idea behind the film. I think the idea is charming. The movie is rather short, an hour and 20-some minutes. I thought it was harmless at the end of the day. I do think it could have been a lot better, though. There are moments that did make me smirk. There are moments that did make me kind of chuckle a little bit. And like I said, it's harmless, and I didn't mind the film, but I didn't love the film either. But I didn't mind it. Like I said, I think there's a lot more you could have really gotten into, whether the Hollywood system or the movie making system, or really go full into the Bruceploitation system. I think there's a couple fun ideas, but I need another couple passes on the script to get some stronger jokes, or maybe some biting satire out of this. But like I said, they need a Bruce to finish Game of Death. There's a guy named Ronnie Kurtenbaum, who's the director of Game of Death. You're wondering, no, it's not. Well, from what I understand, then afterward, everyone got fired and nobody worked on Game of Death. But that's the thing. Like, truth is stranger than fiction, and when you see like some of these Bruceploitation films and how crazy and bizarre they are, they're actually kind of funnier than this movie. But because they need a new Bruce, they're having auditions. So they don't have all these other people come in to try to read and be the next Bruce Lee. So you do have a Bruceploitation type of guy called Breeze Lou. And I did enjoy this bit. We see him in a film called Fist of Fury, where the bad guy opens up his cloak and it's like the swastika, and there's like red ninjas and red garbs and the bad dubbing and the old school look of the film. I got a kick out of that. And then they're talking with the actor, and he's like, "Oh, I haven't seen Bruce Lee's movies." But he says we're different. He wore that yellow one. I'm wearing a blue one, and the acting, it's all right here in the eyes, man. I don't even do my fight scenes, but the acting here is all in the eyes, man. That's all that matters. Why do you want to do this film? Well, that cat and I were peers, and I think if I died, he would do the same thing for me. Now, granted, they bring up the whole bit where he's wearing the blue instead of the yellow. How would he even know that? Like, the only way people knew was when Game of Death was released, and Game of Death had not been released yet. They're making Game of Death. So how could he made all these films, including wearing this blue jumpsuit that's similar to the yellow but it's blue? It's like they screwed up the timeline on that. So that's what I mean. Stuff like that I think, with better writing, better dialogue, this could have been a lot more impactful as a comedy. But he's going up for the part. Son Kane, who of course worked with the director quite a bit. He was in Tokyo Drift. He would come back for Fast 5 and 6. I actually thought Sun Kane was pretty good here. I've been kind of critical of him. I did not like him in films like the Stallone Bullet to the Head. But he's actually pretty good because he played much more of a natural, easygoing guy. He's an uppercomer guy named Cole. He's smiling all the time. In fact, that's one of the issues when he's auditioning. He's trying to tell this line, but he's doing it with like a smile. You offended me. You offended my family. No, he not smile. Oh, I'm just so excited to be here. So I did like him. He has a girlfriend who is a total twat waffle. The girl, I mean, if they're trying to make it where they're both in the wrong, they fucked it up because they're in a relationship, but also she is her boyfriend's manager. He like screws up a bit in one audition and then she dumps him. And the only other thing we saw was like one little thing where he's just eating some chili fries and she's like, see, he doesn't listen to me. So you eating that, but he's supposed to be in shape. I'm like, have you looked at him? He's pretty good in shape. He did have a cheat day, lady. So if they were trying to make her so at all likable, they failed. And she was an annoying, two-faced twat waffle. I'm like, you deserve better. Don't stick with this bitch. So I hated her character. She was the most unlikable character in the movie. I did like the bit where they show before they do this audition, they're going to do this other film. They don't realize it, that it's a porn film. Like they see some naked chicks and they go, oh, maybe it's a European film. But then they see Ron Jeremy. This is before Ron Jeremy, you know, what happened to him is what happened to him. I don't want to get into that. Don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. But yeah, they realize it's a porn, then they leave, and Sun Kane's mad about it and pissed about it. Understandably so. The other people going up for the role, Raja, this doctor, he wanted to be like a ninja or an actor when he was a kid, but his mom told him he wanted to be a doctor. So he fulfilled that wish, but then he's going to quit, and he's going to try to be this actor. And apparently he was the double for that Breeze Lou guy. And I didn't mind him. He was okay. I mean, I would say he's a bit stiff, but he's supposed to be stiff because he does his audition and he's like doing moves and he's trying to talk, but you tell he's supposed to be stiff on purpose. That's why he doesn't really go much further. And that's the thing, like they bring up the character, then he's not in it too much. And like there's another character they bring up, and this was actually one of the more interesting people. This character named Troy Poon, who had the 70s cop show with James Franco. Yes, James Franco has a role in this. And it was like this guy, Troy's most popular show, but then James Franco's character, he died, so the show got canceled, and now he can't get a job, and he's selling products, and they show like all the TV appearances he had, but every single time it was as a food delivery guy, and just the way the TV shows are set up and showing the titles and the footage and him, you know, being the same type of food delivery guy. Maybe it's very much on the nose, but I got the joke. I did chuckle at that. But Sally's not in the film too much. Pretty much, he warns someone, listen, I don't want to do this body double dig. I want a natural dig. And then he goes in and they say, hey, we want you for this part. He looks at him, leaves, and you never see him in the film again. Even in the end credits, like they do text, kind of like Animal House, of what happened to these people next. He was never seen again. So I thought that was a waste of that character. it was one of those like he took it, but then he didn't. He thought, God, this is so beneath me. So have it be like he doesn't care about the part and he just completely screws it up. But then even when screwing up, he's doing well. And no, the more times he screws up, the better and further he gets in the audition. That could have been fun. That could have been entertaining. But like I said, that character just completely wasted. Raja, after a few bits, he kind of disappears. Uh, we see a little bit of the director and the casting director, and there's some humorous moments there. Like they're looking at all the face photos, and she's going on about the casting director lady's like, we need someone who's fuckable, that the audience will like. So who in this group would I do it sober? She actually just asked that, and she's like, sober, sober. Like the fact she went like, sober. It wasn't the sex part; it was the sober part she was contemplating. And they show a little bit of Son Kane and his girlfriend's backstory, where they're from Alabama. That's also when they show a bit of Troy, that guy. He was an actor in college, and he did these episodes where he's delivery man. And then, let's see, he doesn't have a whole lot to it. Then he's gone. You have these two Vietnam guys who which I thought this scene, I really didn't find it that funny or clever. Like they get these two Vietnam guys, and it's like, okay, let's see what you guys can do and fight. And so they're like trying to hurt each other for real. And even the breezy Lou, that guy's going, why are we doing this? This is acting. We're not actually going to fight each other. I'm like, I'm thinking the same way too. It just didn't come off as that clever or interesting. Really, it's just the show that when Son Kane and the wannabe Bruce Exploitation guy, they're going at each other. They're pretty much dancing around each other, and that's why the girlfriend dumps him. This is a very just lame excuse. Like I say, it's one of those ideas that I do find a harmless idea. I do find it a fun idea. I think the idea is more. I'm praising more the idea than the movie. Like I said, the movie didn't make me mad. It was an easy sit through. Like I said, it's only 80 some minutes long. Listen, some people like Son Kane and the wannabe Bruce Exploitation guy, Breeze, they did fine. But again, there seems like there's a lot more of satire of filmmaking back in the day and stereotypes, stereotypical stuff. It felt like there's a lot more they could have done with that. I would say one of the more clever bits is when they do the final audition and they have like the final candidates. So they have the bad guy talking, and the dub you hear is George Takei or George Takei, Sulu from Star Trek. I'm like, oh, they got George Takei. That's cool. Doing the voice of the villain. But the scene keeps going, and when it goes back, it's like a different actor. So like the scene of the bad guy, then here's one actor. Then the scene keeps playing this other guy. Then this other person's been put in to say the next line, and then this person, then this person. So I did like that. I thought that was a nice way of editing the scene, and you see like each one and how they approach the scene, how they approach the role. And then this kind of comes out of left field where the girlfriend gives like her number to Breeze Lou. I guess just because, hey, I'll be your manager too, and Sun Kane's watching this. I felt like I don't know, that there'd be a lot more build up in between that, a lot more setup in between that. But then Sun Kane actually gives a pretty good performance and line reading. Then he goes up, beats the shit out of him, and leaves. And then, spoiler alert, you get to the end, and the kind of the head of the company comes in. Okay, son, you're directing this film. What do you got for me? Oh, one guy I didn't mention. There's this white guy who, the joke is that he's half Chinese, but he looks completely white. So he'll go and say poems and rallies for Chinese people, and no one calls him out on it. I think if this was like more real, like people acted like they really would, that was come off as funny. So if people like give this white guy crap and go, "What the hell are you talking about? You look at you, I'm more Chinese than you. Look at what the hell, you dumb motherfucker." Maybe that could get more laughs out of it. But it's like him, this tall guy, and the Bruce Sportation type guy, but he's in a wheelchair because of what Son Kane did to him. And pretty much the head of the company says, "Everybody get the hell out. I'll do this myself. I'll go to Chinatown and find the guy. Faster than you say, 8 Fu Yun, 8 Fu Yun. I got it. And I got his brother." And then pretty much they say, none of these people were used for Damn It Death. The film was finished. And then like where each person went. Like the Bruce Sportation guy went to deal with car dealerships. We've seen to come out of the blue. Maybe there was set up somewhere. Like he used to do that. Or he had, his dad did that. Like some kind of setup. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, he went to that because it's something he said before, yeah. Son Kane and the girl, like, they get back together, and then the joke is that they're back together, then they got divorced, but now they're back together again. Just thought that was kind of a lame joke. The white guy went into the porn industry, and then did some stuff, and then got sexual harassment case. Okay, I guess that's supposed to be funny, question mark? So yeah, I'm definitely sounding more negative than positive with the film. I understand that. But it's just because, like I said, I like the premise. It was an easy watch, like I said. It's short. I wasn't bored. I like the mockumentary format. The idea, I think, is a charming, fun idea. But it needed like a different writer. It needed a stronger script to really hone in on these characters and hone in on the ridiculous of it all and trying to replace Bruce Lee. And they really could have gotten into that, like how do you replace Bruce Lee. And I mean, I would have even preferred like a comedic telling of the making of Game of Death. Like if they team up, like who came with the idea of having the face that's just on the mirror, and someone goes, "You fucking kidding me? What is words? You think this works, you motherfuckers?" Yeah, it works. And you don't have to be realistic. You can play it up and embellish if you want. I don't know. Just I didn't mind it. It was okay. It was harmless, but I felt there was a missed opportunity as well. That's just me. But again, it's pretty short, so give it a watch if you want. I don't think it's awful. I don't think it's terrible. I just think it could have been better. So with that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later.